time. Oh, who are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
All right. My name is Greg Frankson, also known as Ritalin. I'm a spoken word artist, a social activist, and poet based out of Ottawa, Ontario. Came down to be the poet in residence for the 2009 Ontario Federation of Labor Convention here in Toronto. And I wrote a poem called Get Moving that I'm going to share with you right now. Get up and get moving, y'all. Let's get your blood pumping, working harder than ever to ascertain you're keeping something that your forebears in the movement shed their blood and tears for. Our children will require when they step into the fore. Get up and get moving, y'all. Let's get your blood pumping, marching all across the province to keep the message bumping. New actions required, ensuring all will belong. Refortify the message, shore it up and stand strong. We are in a crisis. It's going to require proposals to inspire a change. As governments argue they're impoverished and mired in debt, so they cannot do much to rearrange the current situation. But we know that kind of answer is just a cheap conservative cop-out, because I believe we have the tools to truly be extraordinary beyond a shadow of doubt. Jack Layton came from Ottawa to deliver a message of hope and social construction, because the time is right now to seize the momentum in the face of corporate destruction. We've seen degradation of pensions, disrespect of our seniors who built this land with raw, bare hands. Armed with a 5-point proposal and fire in his belly, Jack implores us to take a stand. The lines in the sand, been drawn by policies that threaten to dismantle our way of life, driven by the ideology the neocons employ for preservation through provoking strife. We reject the politics of division and enrichment of the class that caused our current pain. The time is now to protect the sanctity of public services designed to proudly maintain the communities we live in that could be fortified by public plans for housing and childcare. If we declare support from others in our federal parliament to fight the spreading despair that our government is not responding to, the urgent needs of people who've been thrown out of work, resorting to crime to make ends, or widows left with nothing, have our system now gone berserk? Get up and get moving, y'all. Let's get your blood pumping, working harder than ever to ascertain you're keeping something that the forebears in the movement shed their blood and tears for, and our children will require when they step into the fore. Get up and get moving, y'all. Let's get your blood pumping, marching across the province to keep the message bumping. New actions required, ensuring all will belong. Refortify the message, shore it up and stand strong. The voices of workers need to be heard in all corners of this province when actions force employers and cities, fellow workers, MPPs at Queen's Park to take the proactive course. The energy we need will be green in future, so let's now figure out how to procure success by tapping into our human and natural resources so our outcomes will always be the best. Fight for those who are victimized by policies and people based on skin, sex, or belief. Dealing with grief that's cheap and disenfranchising citizens, it's time to suspend our disbelief and look at reality for people who have lost their jobs. It's a crime to refuse to act. So the need to our fully supportive employment insurance measures is an indisputable fact, and care for our children, the sick, the mentally ill, in a fully public funded way. Fight back against the privatization of saving a life, a core message that we must convey. Return training for the future to our schools province-wide. Give our kids the chance to do well. And as they move on to post-secondary, make it affordable and end the student debtor's hell. On these issues and many others, there's a blueprint for the future. Unionists must advance with strength. In the campaign for action, our leaders must demonstrate fervor and tenacity to go to all lengths to get the job done. Through unity and power in numbers all across this gigantic hall, the time is now, my friends. Lace up your comfy shoes and pay heed to this clarion call. Get up and get moving, y'all. Let's get your blood pumping, working harder than ever to ascertain you're keeping something that your forebears in the movement shed their blood and tears for, and our children will require when they step into the fore. Get up and get moving, y'all. Let's get your blood pumping, marching all across the province to keep the message bumping. New actions required, ensuring all will belong. We fortify the message, shore it up and stand strong. Working hard, constructing prosperity that drove the strong growth we've had to date. We saw past citizens take up the challenges and plant prosperity in which we have a stake. In years gone by, we saw a change take place that was fueled by those who acted smart and kept the future for us here today at the core, planned their actions with us at heart. But Andrea Horvath pointed out today that no one should accept being treated like a chump, being lectured by those who ran up record deficits while workers in peril keep getting thumped. The government cooks up a recipe of resentment that's becoming harder than ever to swallow. Social services are fraying and sagging. Where's the strong leaders for us to follow? The ones who are out there have been on that stage, speaking of change to fire us up, who encourage us to work for a future better than our present, to overflow our cup, that together in solidarity we can create something to be proud of from now until then. So the question is, who is going to bring that change? If not us, who? If not now, when? Get up and get moving, y'all. Let's get your blood pumping, working harder than ever to ascertain you're keeping something that your forebears in the movement shed their blood and tears for, and our children will require when they step into the fore. Get up and get moving, y'all. Let's get your blood pumping, marching all across the province to keep the message bumping. New actions required, ensuring all will belong. We fortify the message, shore it up, and stand strong.